Hey friends, welcome back. My name is Kim. This is Kim Reads and Reviews, and today's video is going to be a book tag video, and it's the What's So Great About Audiobooks book tag. I was tagged to do this by Ellen over the Ellen Made Book Club. I'll also tag the original creator down below as well as list all the questions. I was pretty excited when I saw that I got tagged in this because my audiobook journey has been a love-hate relationship, and it has also taken quite a bit of time to get used to listening to a book rather than reading it with my eyes. It's an entirely different experience for me, so I'm excited to kind of chat about it. So let's get into it. The first question is, do you listen to audiobooks? If not, why not? Yes, I do listen to audiobooks. I really only listen to about 1 or 2 a month. Has your use of audiobooks changed over time? If so, how? Yes, 100%. It absolutely has. Before I created my booktube channel, I didn't listen to any audiobooks. It just wasn't what I gravitated towards. I didn't really necessarily have a reason. And then when I created my booktube channel, I I found tandem reading. And tandem reading is where you're listening to the book and reading it at the same time with your eyes. That was a really cool experience. I really enjoyed reading books that way. I found it very immersive. I found it held my attention for a long time. I found that I could sit and read for a longer duration of time. I found I retained information actually a little bit easier. But even then, that was a bit of an adjustment. And then when I would try to listen to audiobooks just kind of without the physical book, the assistance of that was a totally different experience because I would see other booktubers listening to audiobooks at 2 times speed, 2.75 speed, or some insane amount. And when I would also think my brain was ready for that kind of speed, it absolutely was not. There are many audiobooks where I listen to them at just 1 speed or 1.25, depends on the narrator. If I'm tandem reading, I'll bump it up to 1.5 or 1.75 because that's just the speed at which I read with my eyes. And so for the audiobook to keep up with what I'm reading, I have to increase it. It's been a journey, and it's still a journey I'm still on. How do you choose which book you will read versus listen to? I also discovered last year that I can't listen to every single book on audio. I can't. If I wanted to listen to a contemporary fiction or literary fiction or a book that had some really beautiful prose or writing, then I would be better served reading that with my eyes over listening to it on audio. I do find I can listen to romance or mystery books on audio, things that are a little bit more plot heavy. Do you look into narrators before you listen, or do you go in blind? I don't really research any narrators. Do you multitask while audiobooking? If so, what else do you do? Yes, but only if the activities are ones that don't require me to do really any thinking. I can't listen to an audiobook and work at my day job. Or if I'm doing my other hobbies like painting or anything like that, I don't listen to my audiobook as well because I want to listen to music that kind of gets me in a creative mood. What I do while listening to audiobooks is cleaning, grocery shopping. If I'm driving a route that I am very familiar with, like my route to and from work, I'll listen to an audiobook. If you're reading a series and you listen to the first book, would you ever switch to reading a later book, or do they now all need to be listened to? I have not encountered this yet. So if I listened to the first book of a series on audio, and then I had the physical book available to me without the audio, I think that'd be fine. But if I read the first book with my eyes and then only had the audiobook available for the second one, I don't know that I do that. You know what? I don't really know because I haven't really encountered that situation yet. So I could foresee myself being you know what, if I really enjoyed the audiobook, really like the narrator or whatever the case may be, I would be more tempted to probably continue listening to it in audio format, especially if I enjoyed the book itself, if I gave it a really good rating. What % of the books you're consuming currently are audiobooks? Pretty low, I think. Because I have some audiobook subscriptions, I try to listen to 1 or 2 audiobooks a month just to make up for the cost of having that subscription. So pretty low overall. I think it's probably, if I had to give it a percentage, probably like 10% of the books I read, maybe 10 to 15%. I definitely prefer to read books with my eyes. I just find I enjoy the reading experience so much more if I can have or find the audiobook and tandem read it, even better. And the bonus question is, do you have a favorite narrator or a favorite book that you enjoyed in the audiobook format? I don't know that I have a favorite narrator. I don't even know that I can confidently say that because I haven't listened to enough audiobooks to say for certain, like, this person's my favorite narrator. However, Leslie Howard, who I've mentioned previously, does an excellent job narrating the books that I have listened to. Ooh, also, Susan Dalian, she narrated One of Us Knows by Alyssa Cole. Excellent job. Imani Jade Powers narrated When She Was Me by Marley Bush. Really enjoyed that one. Esther Wayne narrated The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson. Did a great job. I got full-on chills when I listened to that audiobook. She did really, really good job. And yeah, just kind of looking at my story graph, I think that that's some of the recent ones that I've specifically really enjoyed. However, that's all the questions for this book tag. Thank you so much for watching. I'll take a few creators down below. Feel free to do it if I don't take you and you really enjoy listening to audiobooks. I'd be curious to hear your answers. But thanks so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying what you're reading, and I'll see you in the next video.